Good morning, guys. Welcome to our vlog. So something different that me and Pete wanted to bring to you guys was over the next time, about every few weeks, we want to bring you guys a vlog and kind of bring you into our lives outside of the studio. So anywhere from events to restaurants, bars, meetups, and anything in between. We really just want to showcase the local area and be out and about and doing that. All right, gym is done. It was a really good time. It's nice to work out on the weekends. There's kind of no stress of work or anything like that. Besides it, you kind of just be able to go in and for 45 minutes or an hour, kind of get a little stress relief and take your mind off things. And it's good to get a sweat, especially if you're drinking that day, you're going out with some friends. It's nice to get that off your plate and feel really good. So now I'm running home. Gonna grab Paige. We're gonna do some stuff to get ready for the next week. Shopping, and then we're hitting Trader Joe's today, so big day, and Costco. So we're doubling down on the crazy supermarkets. Costco is GOAT. Don't argue with me on that. The tasties are phenomenal. I do buy everything in bulk, and I spend way too much money there, but Costco it is. And then yeah, we're gonna keep on going throughout the day. But thanks for watching. Welcome back to the vlog.
Yay!
We jumped here in Pete's private studio in
out
West
here.
Palm, and I'm getting tatted. You know, it was something me and Pete have talked about in concept, and actually one of our buddies, Clay Meister, was gonna get tattooed today, so I was gonna come over here and kind of vlog that. But Clay got food poisoning, so I said,
Poor guy.
Pete, fuck it. Yeah, I hope he's doing all right.
You ever had food poisoning, bro?
Once in my life, and it was the worst thing ever.
It's rough, right?
Absolutely. And I remember just sitting there all day, like I would take a sip of water and just puke. Like anything that hit my stomach, I was cash.
Yeah, it's terrible.
And there's nothing like you can't leave bed. Like you just feel like decapacitated. Is that a word? Yeah,
Incapacitated?
incapacitated. That's what I was looking for.
We got Bruce on set. I don't know if you guys can see him
Yeah.
in the shot right now. Bruce, hey buddy, come up.
Come up.
Say hi. Come say hi. Yeah, what's
So
up,
the
man?
dog is swole. He definitely hits his macros every week.
Yeah.
I already seen Pete drop one of his meal prep meals in there.
Yeah.
Chicken and rice, just straight carbs and protein Bruce is getting. So
Yeah.
this
Gotta
dog,
keep the boy healthy.
yeah, this dog's living life. He definitely likes butt rubs the best.
Yeah. You know the way to Bruce's heart.
He is chilling. But Bruce is fire dog. If you ever meet him, say what's up to Bruce. He definitely speaks some type of English. I don't think full
Are you
English.
making that joke on purpose? You keep calling him a fire dog, which I don't know if you're just complimenting him, but Dalmatians are also like the firehouse dog. You know that?
No.
They're like, you ever seen like
I know,
Dalmatians are always like the firefighter's
now
dog.
that you said that, it makes sense.
That's not what you meant though when you said fire dog.
No, I did not mean it that way. I wish I did. I wish I did. But Pete,
We can give you that one.
yeah, I'll ride with it for sure. But yeah, guys. So you walked through my day with me. Went to the gym.
Sick.
Went to the beach. Ran some grocery. You know.
What
just,
day are we on? Day 4 of the challenge?
Yeah. So day 4. And
Going strong?
I'm honestly feeling great. I feel really good. And it's weird, bro. The way my mind works is if I flip a switch and I have like a goal written down to do, like I say it out loud, and here's also the thing about goals, guys, is like be specific with them. And like with this, I'm specific with myself in the fact that it's like 1 45-minute workout a day. So no matter what, I will hit that. And it's like no cheat meals. And I wrote down like what a cheat meal is to me. So I have like an outline of what I can't eat.
Yeah.
And it's written. So like I see what I can and can't do. The law is like written in my head.
What's that outline? What's your cheat meal guidelines?
So right now, dude, I'm trying to,
Because I have some of my own. I'm excited to share.
I'm trying to get definitely like lean and lose some fat. And so whenever I lost all my weight 10 years ago, I was based on a very strict paleo diet. I didn't eat a processed carb for like 8 months.
Is that what paleo means? No carbs?
So paleo is basically like the Paleolithic diet, and you basically eat like a caveman would, 1,000 years ago or 2,000 years ago, whatever the fuck it was. But you'd eat like, so it's a lot of meats, a lot of proteins, and I eat clean proteins, eggs, and then I eat rice and potatoes, and that's basically it.
Okay.
Obviously fats like fruits and vegetables are integrated into that, but it basically stays away from sugar and processed carbs, and that's what fucks me.
Mm-hmm.
I will eat carbs until the day I die. Carbs are life, but I definitely see when I cut out processed carbs from my life. So anything that's in a box sitting in a pantry, basically.
Yeah.
Dude, my body just feels so much better, and I know that. That's why it aggravates me when I eat a shit ton of it, because I know that going into it, but I still do.
What's your guilty pleasure?
Dude, I'll be honest with you, and I'll be open with this. I have like an addiction to food, right? And I guess you could call it fat boy syndrome, whatever you want to call it. But for me, it's not so much what I eat; it's how much of it,
What a
dude.
fucked up thing to call it.
What?
Fat boy syndrome.
It is. It is. It's literally like, dude. When I tell you, Pete, from the minute I wake up, bro, I think about food. From the minute I go to bed, I think about food. And like when I eat, I don't eat to be like satisfied. I eat to be like full, like Thanksgiving full.
Yeah.
So like when I portion out shit and I eat shit, like if I'm going to McDonald's and I'm drunk or high or something, I'm not getting like 1 or 2 burgers. I'm getting like 4 or 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, like eat till you're uncomfortably full. Um, so it's I put that parameters of no cheat meals, but also with that, I'm watching what I'm eating and how much of it,
The
right?
quantity.
Because you can eat a salad all day, every day, but if you eat 10 salads and you
You'll
put the
probably
wrong,
still be alright.
you probably still be alright. But that's the problem with me, bro. Like growing up, everyone would be like, "Oh, so your mom gave you shitty food?" No, my mom cooked great for us,
Yeah.
but it was just I would have. I remember every
Surplus.
family meal I would eat, and then there'd be more left over. I look at my dad, I was like, "Do you want any more? Because I want a second." And like I would eat second. So like I was.
Was there ever any conversation in your household as a kid about
Is this one full? Sweet.
bro, you can get in here, bro. Snuggle up.
What up?
Oh, Bruce wants to get in here too. Whoa. So did you guys ever have conversations like that when you were a kid and like I don't know, were your parents like aware of your weight and
Absolutely, everyone is, and even to this day, I know like I've been boisterous about it over the past 4 years. I've gained weight, and I think that's the hardest part about it. And a lot of people who have insecurities with that is we know people know,
yeah.
that's what fucks with your brain a lot. Like we know when we go out, people know that wow, he's gained weight, and I think that's one of the hardest insecurities
Stop
about
it.
the bless you. One of the hardest insecurities about the whole thing is like that anxiety behind thinking that people are thinking that you've gained weight, which is ultimately your biggest insecurity.
Yeah.
But when you have a kid who likes to eat, right, it's very hard to be like, hey, you should go on a diet. Like, even with my fiance or like, girlfriend or now fiance, it was, I know she's not going to outright say, wow, babe, you need to lose weight. Like, that is so harsh. Or like, wow, son or brother or daughter, whatever it is, you need to lose weight. That is so hard to say to someone because
sure.
they fucking know.
Yeah.
So you're stuck between a rock and a hard place on what to do as a parent and a friend. Like even as a friend, like if my buddies were to come up to me like, "Wow, but you look like you've gained some weight. Do you need help?" I'd be like, "Fuck, man. Like, yeah, I know, but you just, it's like you
Crushed
have,
my
it's like
soul.
it's like you having a pimple on your face. Someone walking up to you be like, "Yo, bro, you know you got a pimple on your face." Like,
Yeah,
no
it's
shit,
there.
I got a pimple on my
Damn,
face.
That's such a great
Yeah.
analogy.
And people like, you wake up and look in the mirror like, wow, I got a fat ass pimple. Like it's fucking obvious in your head, and you get reminded that every day you look in the mirror. So, to answer your question, yes, my parents knew, my sisters. I mean, I was obese at the peak of my life, so everyone knew. But how do you approach that, right? And I wish I had more people in my life at the time. Honestly, it was like, damn, like not in a bullying way. I don't know how you can't do it in a bullying way. Like, wow, you look overweight, but like, hey, man, I want to. And this is what I used to do as a coach, right? So when I lost all my weight and I got into coaching, functional fitness and whatnot, and like hit classes and CrossFit and boot camp, um, I would say, hey, I know where you're feeling right now. I want to be a part of the journey to make you better. And when I said that, I would say, and when I lost all my weight, I got better so much more mentally than physically, and I was changed a lot physically. So let me show you happiness you've never felt before in your life.
Yeah.
And that's how you get people, right? You get people based off of emotion. Like if I were to tell my dad, Dad, I want you to get healthy so you could walk your grandchild down the aisle, right? That's emotion. That's reality.
That's a good one.
If you say, Dad, I want you to get healthy so you don't, breathing heavy up the stairs, they don't really make the correlation. But like for me, I want to be a role model. I want to be someone that someone could turn to and be like, wow, he's dealt with that his whole life and he conquered it. I can too. Yeah. I know he's not Superman. He's not anything extraordinary. If he could figure it out, I know I can. And so I want to be a big word for that. Heath Walker came on the podcast, and before we talked to the podcast, we were talking about how I've been boisterous about that. And Heath is in great shape now, but he's dealt with weight his whole life growing up, and he was always very, I would say, big bone. He had a lot of muscle, but he was thick. And he's like, dude, it's so true. No guys, like sometimes some women on social media are very boisterous about it, but no guys ever talk about like the struggles that we have, and we want to look just as good, and we want to put out a good image. So that's why I'm very voicious about it, because I know it's not talked about enough.
Yeah.
And that a lot of people fucking struggle with it a lot, and that, we're all in the same boat. So
Well, I commend you for coming on this platform and talking about
hey,
shit.
thanks, man.
I know that's not
And
easy.
it's for you guys, and it's for me. Honestly, this is therapy to some sense, and the fact that, like, when you talk about stuff, you realize things, and you realize the changes you want to make and whatnot. But it is, it's really amazing to jump on a platform and be able to share this with you guys.
Yeah. How did we even get on that topic?
Dude, that was a little crazy. It jumped around a
That
bit,
was
eh?
good though. I'm glad this one got real. I didn't know we were
Yeah.
gonna get real. Anyway, so if I think we said this in the beginning, but as you can see, we're in my tattoo studio,
Yep.
which I'm pretty stoked about. We're gonna do some permanent things on Nick's body.
Let me tell you this, guys. I will obviously be an advocate for Pete in any form, but
Thanks, man.
this is the first time I've been over to his studio, and it's immaculate.
Thanks, man.
And I know that's a big question when people go to get tattoos or barbers or anything like that.
Yeah.
Anyone touching their body.
Mm-hmm.
But it's very over the top. It's very done right and clean and proper.
Thank
So know that, guys. Yeah, obviously he does good work, but to know that you're in such a comfortable setting, I think, is a part of the process too.
Thank you, man. I appreciate
Of
that. I got a
course.
little bit of OCD that I'm not mad about. It's
Well, it helps, dude. The older you get, you find that OCD is a fucking fire thing to have.
100%. I agree.
And I feel like the older you get, to a lot of people get it more. When you, like, through that 18 to 22 phase, like, I know a lot of people weren't, but now, like, at this phase, people are owning houses our age and all this shit,
Right.
and they really want to keep it in good shape. So, I with being with Paige and living with, like, my sister over the 2 years before that, I became, I wouldn't say, like, very clean, but, like,
I get that vibe when I come over your
Yeah.
place, though. It's
I eat, we do dishes. Like, there's no,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
nothing sits around for a bit.
Yeah.
And
I've actually tamed, I think, over the years a little bit.
Really?
Like, I can remember when I was in Tallahassee in college, I used to use a label maker all the time.
Really?
Yeah, my room was weirdly labeled. Like, everything was labeled,
Wow, Pete.
And also, I mean, not to chime on this all the time, I feel like I always end up
Drug
talking
dealer?
about being a drug dealer, but when I was doing that shit,
Dude. Okay, so you guys probably have never bought weed from Pete. Maybe some, yeah.
maybe a couple of you have.
This man, I bought one time. It was at FSU. The one time I went up, comes over with a little backpack, right? Walks on the backpack,
always
right?
the
Always
Jan
backpack.
sport.
This man literally pulled out a fishing tackle box. It was a cleared fishing tackle box. Opened it. There's tabs, and all the tabs have mini boxes, and he has them all labeled, and the gram amount, and what type of weed it is. Literally, it was like John
Probably
Cena.
with label maker labels on
Dude,
them.
I'm telling you, and I knew from that, I was like, well, anyone buying weed from this guy knows that it's at least organized, Very, very professional. Easily the most professional drug dealer I've ever seen.
When I got arrested, the cops opened my bag up and were like, "What the fuck is
yeah.
this?"
Yeah, this man is like, he's an engineer slash, fucking drug dealer. Yeah, it was a very cool experience,
So even like before, like this is like when California was the only place that had medical weed.
Correct.
Like it wasn't all over the country yet. It definitely wasn't in Florida yet. And dispensaries were like rare. The only ones that existed were in Florida, or like you go to Amsterdam and you smoke legal weed. But what I was doing back then when I was in Tally is like
treating it as
if you could get that experience, And so I would go online, look up like strains from California, that looked like what I had. Print out like dope little labels for whatever the fuck it was whatever strain I had that time, and stick them in the bags, vacuum seal the bags, and you got no matter what amount you were getting,
It was like you bought it from a dispensary. That's
right.
The easiest
Yeah, that was the goal.
It was so like non-sketchy. It was insane.
Thank you.
No, yeah, you were amazing at it. Here's a question I have for you. Do you think, like, okay, so when a guest comes over my house, right, a podcast guest or any guest, I make sure my house is immaculate. I want them to be impressed, right, and be happy. That goes along with my, my business, and then obviously I see the same thing in you with your business and what you do.
Yeah.
You think that's a character trait? You think that's something that's grown that I need to make a good impression? Like, it annoys me when people say, I don't care what people think. You need to care what people think, right?
Totally.
Because people are going to be your social network. People are going to be your fun, your life, your love. People are going to give you business and money. So yeah, actually do care what people think about you. Because if you put out this notion that's like, well, I am who I am, fuck off if you don't like it. Yeah, to a certain extent.
Right.
But if you're not a good person and you are who you are, then change. People try to use that as like a flex. Well, I am who I am. Fuck you if you don't like me. No, and it's like, no, if you're a douchebag, then yeah, I don't like it because you're a douchebag, not because you are who you are,
Yes.
So, but yeah, like, So going back to the original point, I think it's huge. What were we talking about?
Is it a character trait that you want to be
Yes.
super clean before you have someone over?
I think it's something that's grown / it is part of you.
I can remember when I was a kid, my dad being the exact same way.
Yeah.
Like whenever we were gonna have company at our house, he would almost get pissed if we would clean the whole house or he'd clean the whole house, whatever, like to get ready for people coming over. And then I remember like going one morning to like cook eggs on the stove, and he was like, "I literally just fucking cleaned the whole kitchen. Are you gonna fucking cook right now?" And I was like, "It's breakfast time. Like, yeah, I was gonna make breakfast." He's like, "Fucking microwave something," But like he was pissed because like he just wanted the house to be perfect when company came over, and I definitely see that trait in myself a little bit.
Yeah.
Whether it's in business or at home.
Let me say this too: first impressions are like 50%.
No, totally.
At least, if not more,
Yeah.
right? Like if you make a bad first impression or a good first impression, it is hard to waver someone from that.
Yeah.
Like sometimes I'll be in situations where someone like will mention the name of someone, and someone will like hate them or someone will love them.
Yeah.
And the other person opposite of it has only either met them one time and had a bad experience with them. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Or a good experience with them.
Yeah.
So.
And going back to the business side of things, sometimes that's the only chance you get.
Correct.
Is that first impression. And I mean, especially in my business being in tattoos, like you were saying, the cleanliness is such an important part of that. You know, especially when you're meeting someone for the first time. There's a lot of blind faith going into that connection. Between the client and the tattoo artist.
You're putting something on their body forever. Absolutely. You know, and it's really not crazy hard to put your best foot forward. It's really not crazy hard to go above and beyond.
Right.
And you want people to think high of you, Come on, bless you. You want people to think high of you. So do go out of your way. Do things to impress people.
Because why not?
Because why not? You know?
Yeah.
I will probably be known as this my entire life, but I'm the over-the-top guy, whether it's buying shots or whether it's impressing or whatever it is.
Every guest that comes to our podcast, he buys food for. There's a whole spread when you show up as a guest on our podcast that Nick has put out for us to enjoy before.
And I enjoy doing it because I want, A, people to feel special, but B, to realize that this is a professional thing. And we're not here to play around.
I mean, I'm the same way here. I think coming from the hospitality background that I have, it translates a lot into my tattoo business too. I notice just, I've got snacks on deck because I know people are spending hours here. Sometimes you don't, prepare to spend as much time here as you thought, and you get hungry, drinks, whatever. I noticed that it's the same mentality that I had in the restaurant. How can I make this experience as comfortable as possible and memorable in a good way for you, And
it's the biggest, honestly, in the restaurant industry.
I'm gonna let Bruce out of the room.
In the restaurant industry, I know that, like, for me and customers of the restaurants I've worked at, you could have 100 good experiences somewhere.
It only takes one bad.
If you have one bad experience somewhere, you're done. Right. And I've honestly subconsciously done that before in my life, where like a waitress or waiter or bartender, it happened at a place. I'm not gonna name the bar, but a bar in Jupiter here, over there, like the beach bars and whatnot. Me and my buddies were having a great time. We were loud, but not like obnoxiously loud. Like we were having a good time. Everyone that walked up to the bar was loving us, and I was spending a shit ton of money. At least at $150 tab. And this lady comes over to me and she, "Can you lower your voice?" The bartender. I said, "Yeah, I can. Come over here. I'm gonna close out my tab. I'm gonna take my business somewhere. Close out my fucking tab."
Yes, I can.
Because here's the thing. Even if I was loud, which I easily could have been very fucking loud, you come over here and give me like a warning shot, like, "Hey, buddy, I really enjoy you. You're awesome, but whatever. Don't come over to me like, 'Hey, can you lower your voice?' I'm like, yeah, fuck, I can.
Off the rip.
Yeah.
Yes, I can. I'd like to close my tab.
Dude, I was very quick with it. And be
That's funny.
I'm done. Like, I don't, because I felt uncomfortable at that point. I was like, dude, these people don't fuck with me.
Bruce wants to come back.
He's literally pushing the door. He's an alien. Are you kidding me?
I swear to God.
All
right, Bruce, let's pick one.
You call him Brucey Diva?
No, I said Bruce, you diva, because he can't make up his mind. Brucey Diva, what a lame name that would be.
Like Pete said, the butt again. We are here to tattoo. So I'm getting a tattoo.
What are you doing?
And so on my right arm, if you guys you've absolutely have seen it before, I have a DNA strand running up my arm. Yeah. So I probably should wear like a tank top or a t-shirt for this, but fuck it. There's a DNA strand.
What do you got under there? Are you gonna be topless for the rest of this?
No, it's just right here.
Oh, okay. Damn.
So yeah, fuck. So it's a DNA strand running up my entire arm, wrapping my arm, And every link, every ladder is a family name. So it's my mother, my father, my 2 sisters, my 2 grandparents. Then there's some empty spaces up top for my future kids. And then like I heard it's like a bad luck to put your lover's name on your body.
Yeah.
So
Bruce, we can't play with toys right now. They're too loud, buddy. Sorry.
They are, buddy. But he is cute.
He's so
so it's every link. So then my future children, then I'm gonna do something I think today with Paige. So the 2 things I want at the beginning of my arm here is I want in Roman numeral dates, basically right, it's gonna be very small, but right under my watch, like where my watch would sit, is the day me and Paige became official as like boyfriend and girlfriend, and then the day I proposed to her. In Roman numerals right here. And it's under the watch, symbolizing like no matter what, time won't change. Like I thought that was
nice.
That's the way I put it.
Let me ask you something. You say the day that you guys became boyfriend and girlfriend.
Yeah.
Was that like a conversation that you said one day, like, "Will you be my girlfriend"? How'd that happen?
So I knew very fast I had like very strong feelings for Paige. We just clicked so instantly.
Yeah.
And I was trying not to be clingy. I was trying not to be intense. We can only see each other on the
Good
weekends.
call.
We could only see each other on the weekends, which was a good thing almost, because she lived in Fort Lauderdale at the time, and I lived up here and I was working and shit.
Mm-hmm.
So like we not at first for the first basically year, could only see each other, you know, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and we would every single week. But I didn't want to be too intense at first. But I remember after like 30 days of us like talking, which I hated that stage. I like the stage like we're dating. I don't know, like because talking is so up in the air. Some people
want to know what you're spending your time on. What you're doing.
So I remember like nervously, like we went to like a grab and go place, like a Chipotle or something like that. I remember sitting down, and I brought it up like with the excuse of my mom. So
my mom asked if we're exclusive or not.
Oh my god!
Yeah, it was not smooth. But I was
like, yeah. So my mom asked if we're exclusive or not.
That's
so like,
funny.
and I was like, I literally said this, and I was like,
and I didn't like know what to tell her. So, haha, are we like exclusive?
Literally what I said.
That's okay, man.
That's how like I'm not gonna lie. Like I feel like I'm fairly smooth with ladies, like in a general setting.
That was cute.
But when it comes to like that, I remember my proposal. I was nervous as fuck. Too.
How'd you do that?
So I'll finish the dating thing. So
okay, sorry.
My mind is flying right now. But so I said that with the exclusive thing. That was like 30 days in. So 2 weeks after that, I'm laying in bed.
Bruce is pissed or not
I
playing.
know.
Did you see that?
The boy's hot. Two weeks later, we're laying in bed again, like horny Nick, and I'm laying there and I'm like, So I was like, okay, I gotta ask you a question. And then I was like, wait, no, I don't have to ask you a question. I had this all played out in my head. I was like, wait, never mind. And of course, the girl goes, "What?
No,
what do you have to ask me?"
And
I was like, "No, it's like too much. Like I want to wait. And she goes like, "No, what is it?"
Will you be my girlfriend?
And she's like, "Yeah." You know, and like cool. After that, it's like I get to go places and call someone my girlfriend. Like, yeah, sweet, you know.
I feel like that doesn't happen a lot anymore.
It doesn't. I think one day some people these days they'll be laying next to someone in bed and be like, "Hey, are we boyfriend and girlfriend?" They'll be like, "Yeah," or like, "No."
I want to say like I don't know if me and JoJo have ever like had that talk. You know, it's just like
well, you guys did move fast.
Yeah, well, I think we've talked about this on a previous podcast. If you asked me like how quickly do you move in with someone,
you said like a month with her.
Well, JoJo like never went home after the first night. You know, like once
and
she
not
stayed
in a bad way. I mean,
no, right? Like we hit it off
exactly
first. And not saying she came home with me the first night I met her. We knew each other for a minute before she came home. But after that first night of sleeping over, she never didn't sleep over again.
Did you ever have a first date with her? Like
it was like a year later because of COVID. We met during COVID. Are you
kidding me?
Yeah, our first date was.
Are you a gay guy, Pete? You can be honest.
No, I don't think so. I mean, now I am. Like, I love me and JoJo's date nights because we work all week.
How often do you usually do that?
Like once a week. When she works a ton, you know, and so when she gets a day off, we'll go and we'll get dinner somewhere and have a date night. So I love those. But prior to this relationship, I definitely wasn't a date guy just because of my work schedule. I was one of those guys working every day. And on my day off, I don't fucking really feel like going out. You know, I throw a party for a living at that time. I don't feel like going out. I'm like sleeping and recovering. So I think I was probably not a date guy in the past.
But like
probably not an ideal partner in the past either.
Listen, we grow. I've always been weird like that. I guess you can call it chivalry, whatever you want to call it. But even in college and shit, I would be
You're a date guy.
I'm a date guy. Yeah, because I need to see you in that setting. I need to see how you treat people, like waiters, waitresses, and shit like that. Like,
Oh,
that,
dude, that's a huge pet peeve. If you're like rude
yeah,
to the waiter where
yeah.
you're having dinner, oh
And I
man.
don't need you like over the top of hospitality, like when people are already stacking their dishes before the other person's
No,
even
I
done.
mean,
Like,
me and JoJo are those people. That's because we eat, sleep, and breathe
yes,
hospitality.
but I'm saying on like a first
You don't
date
have
type
to
thing.
be, though,
Exactly.
right? It's
No,
not
no,
an
no.
expectation.
Like, I don't
But
need
you just
to do
can't
that.
be
Yeah.
rude. Just
Don't be rude, you
Yeah.
know. And like, even like with Paige, like I love paying the bill, but like she offered, and like that was a big thing. You know, she's like, hey,
On the first date?
yeah. She's like,
Did
you
you
know,
let her?
absolutely fucking not.
Yeah,
No.
yeah. Okay.
I paid for all dates until like 2 months in, like
Yeah.
2, 3.
I
Probably.
feel like me and JoJo, being like a year and a half in now, are finally at that stage where I've just accepted when she really like insists on paying, I just let her. But for the longest time, I mean, I just
Well, finally, bro, and you guys might get to this point. Like 6 to 8 months ago, earlier this year, uh, we like would go to Publix and be like, okay, how much was that? Try to do the math in it. So like, fuck it, babe. We're gonna go to Wells Fargo and
You opened a bank account?
joint bank account.
Yeah, I mean,
It's
I feel
super
like once it
easy.
gets to the marriage
Yeah.
point, that's like it
But that was
makes
before
sense.
we were engaged.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but I was so sick and tired of like not Venmos. Like we're neither one of us was like that. Like, hey, post was 100, Venmo me 50. But
Well,
and I'm not saying that's bad. I'm not saying
yeah.
that's bad. But I would like I felt weird saying it, and like I didn't want her money, like it. But
Mhm.
you know, so finally I was like, no stress. Here's a card. Like all the furniture we want to buy for the house, all of our plane tickets, all over
Mhm.
that. You know, just use that bank account, and it's so
Yeah.
much easier. You know what I'm saying?
100%. I feel like me and JoJo are honestly at that point now where
100%.
I would want to do that.
Because
But
you trust her. I mean,
right now, we're the Venmo couple. But like, it's not like I'm like, hey, will you Venmo me for that? It's just she does it when she feels like
Yeah.
she wants to contribute to
Yeah.
whatever she just saw me pay for. She'll
Yeah.
do it without saying anything, and vice versa. You
Yeah.
know, like if she orders groceries, which she does all the time, she'll order groceries like always. You know, I
Yeah.
haven't ordered off the Instacart in a minute. She always does it before me. But I know how much the order costs, you know. So when I
Yeah.
see it come through, I'll send her money. And
Fire.
if she doesn't ask for it, I just
And again, that's not bad. I just got tired of that. I was like tired of
no,
like
right.
thinking, you know,
That's actually. I feel
Yeah.
like me and JoJo should just have a bank.
it's so much easier. But like, still, we'll go out to dinner. I'm like, I want to pay, and like, I'll pay. Like, you know, you'd still do. It's not like everything you guys do together it has to go on that card.
Sure, right.
But just it's so much easier.
It could almost be treated like I'm thinking in our case now, just thinking out loud, like it could be treated like a savings account but a savings account that we use for like those date nights. You
But
know,
we have a joint savings account that we both put X amount into a month. Then we have a joint checking. Then we only we keep like $500 in there. Like there's not a lot of cash in there.
in the checking.
In the checking, it's just groceries, you know.
And who keeps that account full?
We both do. So there's an automatic amount that goes in every month.
Oh, okay.
Because it's about an average of what we're doing.
Right.
Or like if she's like, you know, I just bought 2 plane tickets. I need X amount. It'll go out.
Okay.
So
I like that.
Yeah. No, and it's trust.
Okay, so this actually kind of naturally segues into another. We'll tattoo you eventually, I promise.
Okay.
But I don't know if you noticed on the notes, I wrote prenup as a topic. Did you see that?
I did not.
Well, I feel like this is an appropriate time to talk about it. What's your opinion on prenups?
That's like saying, I want to have a baby with you, but I'm gonna pull out on my nut. In my opinion, like if you, that's a bad comparison. Like
You're never gonna have the baby if you
like you know, a plan B. I don't know, like in anything in my life. If I'm gonna get married, and I believe in the institution of marriage, as we talked about a few episodes ago, like I'm saying this is till death, right? Anything, and like when I say my vows, I mean them.
Mm-hmm.
So like, will times get tough? Yes. Will curveballs be thrown your way? Yes. And will all that shit? Yes. But I am yours, and you are mine till we die. You know. So I feel like saying, but before that, let's sign a paper that if we do, we're out. You know, we're good.
Yep.
You know, and also I want to marry, and I'm not saying that some marriages are like this, but I want to marry a partner that, in the end of the day, I know. But it's bad because, like, say hypothetically, I cheat in 20 years. She's like, "Fuck you, I'm taking everything and leaving."
Or hypothetically, say she does. You know,
that's true.
You
too.
may have that in your mind, and I'm just playing devil's advocate here.
Pete, I'm not saying
for the sake of conversation.
I know you're not saying this to me.
You may have that in your mind.
Yeah.
You know. And you may believe you know what's in her mind, but you never actually do. There's no way to, you know. So, and think over the course of 20 years, you know, things change.
Yeah.
So even say in 20 years you feel the exact same way. What if she cheats, you know? And now,
then I'm fucked.
If you want to get out, like then
I'm
right,
fucked.
you're fucked.
I'm fucked.
So again, to play devil's advocate, I think you can feel all those things that you're feeling about the institution of marriage
But
and
still
this
get a
is
prenup.
forever, and then say, and this prenup shouldn't matter because we're never going to separate anyway. But with that being said, why not sign the prenup?
Have you talked to her about it?
We talked about it briefly. That's what 90% of my notes that go on to that notes thing are because me and her are talking about something. I'm like, this is fucking great. I need to talk about this on the podcast. And so I don't feel very strongly about it either way. I don't I know it may sound like I'm on the prenup side, but based on my conversation, but just to make the conversation good. I feel the same way as you, where like by the time I'm ready for marriage, I'm pretty confident in my decision, and like
It's just sketchy, bro, because like on the prenup you have to put details too, like
like what? I don't know really much about prenups.
I think prenups basically mean like you have to detail out what each partner gets.
I thought it was more just like it says we divorce,
we split everything 50-50.
That was not. I thought that was the opposite.
I thought too. Yeah, that's my point.
When you divorce, you split 50-50. If you get a prenup, it's if we divorce, what's mine is mine and what's yours is yours.
But you're a couple, Pete. Everything's everyone.
And you have a joint bank account.
Correct. That's my point.
Right. So then you have to differentiate.
Like, I don't think it gets down to like the furniture and shit, but I think you have to be like, okay, on this house, I have a 55% lien. You have a 45% lien. Like, you have to be, and I could be way off on this. I've never honestly looked into
Right. I don't know shit about this topic.
But how could you not be specific with it? Because everyone is everyone. It's like when you live with someone and you're married to someone, what's mine is yours, what's yours is mine. Right. So and that's why divorce lawyers get paid a shit ton. So like, but I just, in my heart of hearts, my initial reaction, which was 99% of the time I go with, I would say no prenup.
Right. I don't see us having a prenup. I don't. That's not.
Because don't you believe in energy, right? Is that not bad energy before you go into a wedding to sign a fucking prenup?
I think it just depends on how you think about it. If you're thinking about it the way you're thinking about it, going like, if we sign this prenup, we're betting that we're not going to make it.
No.
Then that, I think, is bad energy. But if you go into it with my mentality where I was like, look, this prenup doesn't matter because we're never going to split up anyway. But that being said, signing the prenup shouldn't be a hard thing, If you don't plan on leaving me and I don't plan on leaving you, let's just sign the paper and know we have nothing to worry about.
I see what you're saying. I just think it's bad juju. I'm a traditional guy. And that's like...
And I also followed up with, I doubt I'll have a prenup in my marriage. That's not my thing.
And I wouldn't judge you if you did. I really don't.
Right. I guess that's my point, is I can understand the argument of wanting one.
Yeah. I do too. And I get why people do. It's just for me, I don't want to think of... like, what do you do after you sign a prenup? You go to a bar and like cheers? Like, that's the thought in my head. Like, if it's a step before marriage, like I want all my steps to be like, call it corny, call it whatever, but about marriage. I don't want it to be a step to be like, what if?
Right.
Because to be honest, if you have an out, that's also an easier way to have an out.
Mm-hmm.
If like, fuck it, I have a prenup, I'm in Vegas, I got a fucking hooker on me, screw it.
I've got nothing to lose.
Yeah.
But I guess...
and that is twisted in a sense, because if you're doing that anyways, then like, you're a fucked up person.
Should you be in that marriage, right?
Correct.
Is it worse to stay in that marriage where you're gonna do them dirty, but now I have to stay because they're gonna take half my shit?
I guarantee you a lot of men.
There's both sides of the coin.
I bet you a lot of men and women have not, though, in the years because of that. Who gets the kids? Who gets the house? Who gets
I can't fuck this up because I have so much to lose.
If I cheat on him and he can have custody of the kids, then dude, things go into it. Because let's be honest, bro. After 30, 40 years. A lot of the lust is gone. You can do a lot to keep it up, but you've been chilling with the same person for 30, 40 years every fucking day, right? So, it gets monotonous sometimes. And I think you have to have a goal like this, right? Like, I'm doing this till the end of the year with eating right and working out and gratitude. You have to have I'm going till death.
Mm.
That's my goal, and I don't want to have any other out.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if this challenge had an asterisk on it, it was like, you could have an out now and lose 10 pounds, but that's it. Or you can go and see what happens. It'd be a tough question to be like, do I want to lose 10 pounds now? Or should I?
Wow, dude, that is tough.
But in my heart of hearts, I'm an all-in guy, so, and that's why I'm not good at gambling. I'll fucking go on all day, and I lose my ass every time. But I'm picking the long route every time. Yeah. Right?
Respect.
So, guys, we are going to jump from this to the tattoo.
Yes, it's that time.
And it's that time. You guys get to see Pete's work firsthand, and you see me cringe a little bit because I'm a bitch. But yeah, thank you guys for watching the vlog. We are jumping to tattoo right now.
Alright, cool. That's fun.
So guys, we are here
Yes, sir.
live, getting her done. Shave the nice arms.
Best part.
I'll be honest with you. The only times in my life I ever shaved my arms was when I got tattooed. So now
Really?
whenever my arm's getting shaved, my body automatically knows. Well, you're
What time it is?
Yeah.
Start getting sweaty. It's interesting. Like a lot of people are mixed on this.
Yeah.
Or like after you get an arm tattoo, a lot of people will start shaving their arms after that because like arguably the tattoo looks better when your arm's smooth. You know?
Do you?
Yeah.
Like everyday type shit?
Nah, probably like once a week.
And it stays clean like that, pretty much.
Yeah, I mean you can see I've got a little hair on my arms.
Yeah.
But it's it doesn't alter the tattoo as much as that kind of arm hair does, But it doesn't matter. I have another client who I'm doing a leg sleeve on, and we kind of had the same conversation. Like, bro, you got all these dope pieces on your leg, but he's a hairy fucking dude, and he's got a ton of leg hair, and
Pete, it's crazy. The more I see it, I really do like leg half sleeves. Like,
me too,
knee, and I would do it in. I don't know if I would ever get to this point, but now that I'm really good friends with a fucking tattoo artist, I might.
Yep.
But my opposite leg, so my left knee to, I would say 8 inches above that. I'm down to do something, with that.
You want to go knee up?
Yeah, I don't want to do below the calf.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah. Like the bottom of it would be seen in 5-inch inseam shorts.
Like the shorts you were wearing in the gym today?
Correct. Showing a little love, as I say.
Yeah, dude, those things were short.
So what
I'm
is
a
this?
short shorts guy too, though.
Yeah, I just love moving around them big old turkey legs.
This stuff here just helps the stencil transfer from the paper to your skin.
Okay.
If we put the stencil on you dry, nothing would go on.
So you shave, then you put was it Vaseline?
No, it's just like it's a lot more fluid than Vaseline is. I don't know what the actual components are though. All right, just lift your arm up off the pad, so the pad's not squishy, and then try to give you rested.
And when you throw the black gloves on, you know it's time.
You already know.
The bitches ever sweating her?
Yeah, for sure.
I like that a lot.
All right, hop up, take a look.
This might hurt like a motherfucker, Pete.
The wrist doesn't feel great.
No.
Not gonna lie, the wrist does not feel great.
But the good thing is I haven't had. Whenever you started, I started a tattoo on my wrist right there, and it only got better from there. So if this is all I know for this tattoo,
that's true. It's also not going to take very long.
No,
it's a pretty small tattoo. When was the last time you got tatted?
Shit, October of 2019.
It's been a minute.
Yeah, I kind of forgot how much it hurt.
It's
really not bad. No.
It'll be alright. So I asked you earlier, but we never got to get to the answer. I don't think. What are your cheat meals that you're not allowed to have?
So, basically anything with processed carbs. So, chips, pastas, breads, things in the freezer that you warm up type shit. Okay. And then obviously when you go out, any burgers or pizzas or anything like that. When I'm trying to eat clean, I'm trying to eat right now, it's really just whole foods that you look at and you know exactly what the fuck it is. You know what I'm saying? I like to keep it simple like that.
So what are your go-tos when you're eating clean like this? What meals do you like?
A lot of meat, so chicken and steak, and I'll make them in different ways. I've been on a Chipotle bowl kick. So I'll put rice down and the meat, beans.
So let me ask you something. You just said processed carbs are the things that are in the freezer that you could microwave and eat. I eat these quinoa bowls from Aldi that I think I've talked about before. It's quinoa, salsa,
Yeah.
sweet potato, chicken, like grilled
Pre-made?
chicken. Pre-made.
You just pop it in the microwave.
Frozen.
Okay.
But it seems like it's like just those items, you know? Like it's not.
And it could be.
It doesn't seem processed. It just seems frozen.
The thing about frozen meals is the sodium intake, and you probably don't have to worry about that. You're lean.
Right.
Right, for someone who's trying to lose water weight and or fat, you don't want to hold a lot of stuff, so you don't load shit with sodium. I remember at one point when I was really fit, I was eating like a lot of like there was these fit meals that were frozen. I was warming up, and I was holding a lot of water. And one day someone said that to me, and I looked at the sodium intake on frozen foods, and it's like 50% of your daily intake. It should be.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bruce is the same way. He can't have a lot of sodium.
No,
it promotes the kidney stones. All right, so I think we're ready to rock.
Fire up. Such a random thought. Are you okay talking when you tattoo?
Yeah, totally. This would be a pretty boring episode if I wasn't okay talking about a tattoo.
Some people say it's a really dark thought, but like when people get really depressed sometimes or in a really bad headspace, they like hurting themselves, like, through cutting and whatnot.
Yeah, you like this pain? Are you gonna say that?
I don't like it, but I've heard a lot of stories of people that get like addicted to tattoos because it's an outlet for them to kind of feel that.
Right. People say it sometimes.
In a more I guess legal or healthy way.
Right.
And I kind of understand it. I mean, it makes you feel human for sure. You know, like.
I think I'm just not angry enough or something, but I hate the pain. I'm so over it.
To be honest, this is so small compared to what I've gotten that it's not bad. Yeah. I did the inside of the elbow with this DNA strip rolling up, and that was pretty bad.
That's brutal. People ask me all the time what my most painful tattoo was, and that's what the ditch.
The creases. It's the creases. The armpits. The necks.
The armpits are terrible. I just got my neck done not that long ago. That was rough. I mean, like the collarbone area, you know.
Basically, if there's just like a empty hollow tissue behind it, I think it's really bad because it's just straight nerves that are you're hitting.
Brutal. I was planning on doing my entire neck, but after getting like that,
I think that's. I mean, are you doing the neck still?
I don't think so, bro.
Pete. I think that's
Okay, so I want it.
Yeah. Are your legs done? I never see you in shorts.
I've got a few that I did on myself when I first started tattooing, like on my thighs. Yeah. But about it.
So those dates say 4/15/21. Double check. I don't know if you guys caught it on here, but I've gotten a tattoo before that was spelled wrong.
Oh yeah, so we didn't talk about that on camera. You should though.
I accidentally spelled my grandma's name wrong, Barbara, and I fixed it. I love you, Barbara. But I'm not literate, so
we won't make that mistake twice.
No. You ever had your hand cramped before?
No, but that's why you were asking me earlier why I use a whole roll to wrap the machine with, and a lot of people ask me, like, I have this fat ass wrap around it. That's partially the reason why. Like a lot of tattoo artists, not so much these days because the technology is so much better. The machine doesn't vibrate all that much as it used to. But a lot of old school tattoo artists that have been doing it for like 20 years, they get carpal tunnel because from gripping the machine, you know, the way that you have to grip it all day, every day for years and years. And so the fatter that the grip is, you know, the less your hand is actually like closing around it. And I guess it's a little easier on like your joints or whatever it is that's affected there.
How do you know when you're out of ink?
You can sort of see it in the tube here. Which, I mean, you can't, but I'm so much closer to it, I can. But also, you can sort of, you'll definitely know when you go to start tattooing and there's no ink in it, but you really just kind of re-up on ink before that time comes, you know, you just, pretty much after every line I make, I re-dip it. It's not out of ink by then, but you don't really want to be tattooing without ink. What's your worst work injury? Do you have any good ones?
I split my thumb open. So there's framing metal, unless you're in construction, you don't really know, but behind these walls, like studs, quote unquote, are either wood or metal. If you live in a condo or an apartment building, most likely it's metal. And when you cut it, it's razor sharp. It's literally as if it's a razor. And I was flinging it around one time, just moving through work, and it caught my thumb, and it literally split like a 2-inch line in my thumb, like right at the bottom of it, towards the first knuckle, and I was leaking. I literally remember walking up to my dad, and he was not having a good day. I love him to death, but this was not a good day for him. And he literally threw me a paper towel and a roll of blue tape to tape it up. And I was like, Pop, I need to go to the hospital. And he's like, no, tape it up. We'll look at it on the way home. And that's what we did. And we ended up getting home, buying a CVS first aid med kit and putting butterfly stitches on it. Wrapped it up, and I was at work the next day.
Shit.
But I had a coworker who was 57, and he split his whole hand open one time with a circular saw. He was running the saw left to right through the piece of wood, and it bounced. It got caught in something and bounced, and his right hand was right there, and it literally ran through the middle of his hand. And imagine that injury, right? Because like you get stitches on the inside of your hand.
Yeah.
Like every time you go to grab something or reach for something. I mean, you know, it's horrible.
Awful.
But I mean, there's horror stories of construction is dangerous, man. Like it's a pretty big norm for guys to get metal in their eye, like little shards of metal. Like eyes and ears and hands are the bad things in construction.
Really?
You always get something caught in your eye, either dust, drywall, mud, something. Hands because you're always working with them, and ears because over time, like all these power tools, they catch up, bro. Like my dad's half deaf.
Really?
Like, dude, you can't meet a foreman or a guy in his 50s that actually worked in the field of construction who's not half deaf.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, because that's not really that loud, but imagine 4 times that,
right.
And your head's next to it all day.
Right. I mean, these new machines really aren't that bad. Damn, I wonder how that is on the audio. Hopefully it's not annoying as fuck for everyone listening.
And if it is, then we can time lapse this. I mean,
yeah, whatever. But the old machines used to be much worse. I mean, I'm sure you know, even when
they had the wire and shit.
Right.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's the same noise, but just amplified so much worse. Which, I mean, I think also is a little more intimidating for, like, you know, the average person that doesn't necessarily have a lot of tattoos, you know? I'm kind of glad that the technology's advanced. Very glad, actually. Tattoos coming a long way.
How long does that thing last for?
This battery will last for 6 hours, and I've got 2 of these machines, and I think 3 of the batteries.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
How much do those cost? $1,000?
$1,300.
Yeah.
Worth it, though, man.
Yeah. You ever sneeze while doing that shit?
No. One time, though, I mean, you see all the lighting that I have in here. One time, like, right as I was about to get started, like, I'm literally about to touch the needle to the girl's skin, all the fucking power went out. I tripped a breaker or something. Everything shut off, except the machine, because it's battery powered. I was like, oh! It was like the day that I got the neon sign or something.
Really?
Yeah. It's been okay since then, though.
Those things are pretty cool, though, the people that do those. How much was that neon sign? Like $100? It
was like $500.
Really?
Yeah.
That's such a good business to get into. Probably a machine that does it.
Yeah, it came from China. Amazon, baby.
Amazon that shit?
Yeah.
How'd they do everything?
Right?
I'm really worried they're going to run the world one day. I'm not even joking. They could buy every fucking competitor in the world. Think about it, Pete.
Could they actually? Is that a real statement?
It's not a real statement, but if you think about it,
they could probably do some damage.
Well, they've already killed 50% of the, if not more, of the small mom and pop boutiques and retail stores and shit.
Oh, right. That's true.
You know?
Yeah. I don't even leave my house to buy shit anymore.
No one does, bro. When's the last time you bought shoes in a shoe store? When's the time have you been in Foot Locker?
Okay, well, I'm a little bit of a unicorn in that scenario because, you know me, I wear all-white Vans every day.
Oh, okay.
And for some reason, if you try to buy all-white Vans online, they're, like, more expensive.
Okay.
So
Journey?
Yeah, right. But they have one at the outlets right across the street.
Oh, they do? Yeah. I feel like those outlets never took off. Do you think they did?
Yeah, they're doing okay.
Yeah.
they're a little disappointing, you know. I was hoping it was gonna be like fucking Sawgrass Mall deals, but it's really just like a lot of normalized stores. So, Nick, have I told you about the warehouse thing in depth yet?
Talk about
I keep telling you that I want to tell you about it. Have I told you about it, though?
You talked about it for like 5 minutes one time.
Okay. So here's the idea, bro. I don't know. There's a lot of thought and like fine-tuning, obviously, to put into the concept, but it's something that I'm really excited about, and even if things don't work out with this specific partner that wants to invest in it, I'm pretty confident that I'll move forward with it on my own.
What's the cutoff for ink poisoning? Is that a thing or is that a myth?
I think it's a myth.
You've never heard of that before?
Nah, I've never heard of it. You know, like, have you heard of blackout tattoos?
Yeah, that fucking the whole thing?
Yeah, they just literally black out huge portions of their body. The artists that do that, they have like a giant shader that looks like the same thickness as this razor.
Really?
You know? And they're literally just like fucking dragging it.
Jesus.
And they'll use a whole bottle of ink, like one of those small bottles of ink. They'll take just the whole bottle for that client, you know, and just pour it on there. And,
really? Jesus.
Fucking gruesome.
That back is probably so inflamed, or whatever body part it is.
Yeah, right. Terrible. I mean, there's still a technique to it, you know, to not damage the skin. But it is fucking gruesome still.
Isn't it crazy to think that when they started tattoos, it's literally like a little needle and like a hammer?
I want to know how the fuck they figured out tattoos were even a thing, you know? Like, who was the first guy?
I think it's like the ancient Alps, bro, and like Mount Everest and shit. I could be way off there.
I have no idea. You could be totally spot on.
But I think it's like literally like a metal toothpick at the end of a stick, and they tap your arm. And there's people that go to this place. I saw like a Vice video on it. There's people that go to this place to get like an old ancient tattoo done.
Yeah, that's called tabori.
Okay.
It is literally a stick with the needles on the end of it, and they use like a mallet to fucking hit it. And you see how, like, when I'm tattooing you, I have to stretch your skin before I do it? Generally, the people that do that have an apprentice that has to stretch the skin for them because they're using both hands. You know, one's on the mallet, one's on the thing. And
that's rad.
They have someone else stretching the skin. But I think I saw probably the same documentary you're talking about. And somehow the colors come out more vibrant with that method.
Really?
Yeah. I don't really understand why or how that makes sense, but it's a thing. All right.
Fire me up, Pete.
Yeah, dude, you got that.
Hey. Oh, Lord. We're on the vlog! Whoa, we're here! How'd that happen? We are all over the place, guys. We're just, you know, with this vlog stuff, as we continue to learn this world that we're diving into, there's a lot of stuff that we laugh about. You know, it's
fun.
It's happened 2 or 3 times now where we go to hit record or we go to hit the audio record and we don't hit record, and so we are back now.
So this is our second attempt at
the outro.
So we should nail it.
Guys, thank you for watching the vlogs. Again, we're trying to put out different content, and if there's stuff you want to see in particular, please reach out to us and tell us.
Help us help you.
But we're just bringing a different look into our lives, a different angle into what we're doing. Pete's going to take the camera sometimes. I'll take the camera and just show you a transition to our world outside of the podcast studio. And we're going to bring you guys along with the way, and we'll do meetups and everything in between. But it's just a cool, different shade of us. So
it was fun.
Thank you guys for watching the vlog.
Yeah.
First one out. We will see you guys in a few weeks.
That's the energy though, right there though. Cry with me. Pour juice inside the soda, turn it over, watch it sink. Sometimes it might be purple, sometimes it might be that pink.